Good afternoon, guys. Excited to be here. Looking for the opportunity. I hope you guys are staying warm out there this afternoon. It's a blistering 9 degrees, about 19 degrees warmer than it was the other day. But again, very grateful for this opportunity for the Wilf family, for Coach Zimmer, for Rick Spielman and Rob Brzezinski throughout this whole process, and eager to get to work. And if you guys have any questions, I'll go ahead and open it up.
Eric Smith.
How you doing,
Nick,
Eric?
Congrats. Good, man. How are you? Congrats on the promotion. I guess just after 14 years of being here, what does it kind of mean to you to get that coordinator title and have that responsibility?
I'm definitely excited for the opportunity to go ahead and lead this special teams unit, but it's the head coach's vision, and we're just going to be an extension to find the best opportunity to go ahead and help our team win football games. We got to play that complementary football, and we're excited for the opportunity. I think we've got the right guys on this roster to go ahead and lead that, and it's going to be we're excited for the 2021 year.
Andrew Kramer.
Hey, Ryan, you're obviously in such a unique position, having a lot of the knowledge about the roster, taking over this role. How do you think that's going to help you kind of build the to-do list? And then how long do you think that to-do list is going to be?
I think it's definitely a benefit, and it's going to play an integral part in terms of this, the evaluation process. A lot of guys, are going through that. These other special teams coordinators new at places are going through that right now, and got a leg up in that. So we kind of know some of the bones are buried, but the evaluation process never ends. I mean, we're always doing that year round throughout the every day, and trying to find a way to go ahead and improve this football team, and that's bringing in any kind of competition for all positions, just to help this team win some football games.
We'll throw it over to Courtney for a couple questions.
Hey, Ryan, I mean, it's not that often that we see people stay in the same place as long as you have, and how long you've spent in Minnesota throughout your career. What kind of benefit does that give you in a league where it feels like guys are constantly bouncing around from team to team? I know Andrew just mentioned it with the roster continuity and knowing the roster, but for you personally, was that kind of a goal of yours?
Stepping in this opportunity, it's it's always a goal to go ahead and create value for yourself and find out how you can go ahead and best help this organization win. For me, it was a different path, probably not the path I set forth, coming in 2007, but definitely blessed for this opportunity. Starting off in offense and with Coach Childress, and then carrying over with Coach Frazier, and then getting into special teams, and having Coach Zimmer, just believe in the skill sets that we have, and to go ahead in that same vision to ultimately bring a championship back to Minnesota. Very excited for that opportunity.
Matthew.
Ryan, how do you view relationships with kickers? Because it always seems to be a conversation about how much can the special teams coach help kickers. So, what's your relationship with Dan Bailey, and just how do you feel like you can, help him be the best he can be?
I think start off. I have a really good relationship with Dan Bailey, and I'm very optimistic in what he can do. I believe in his skill sets. I think he's one of the top kickers out there, and so we're very excited and fortunate that we have him on the Minnesota Vikings roster. I think in terms of to answer your first part of the question, in terms of the relationships and how you can go, I think all the way you interact with these players, I think they're all different. It's going to depend if it's a young guy, a veteran guy, how you go ahead and interact with them, how you go ahead and motivate them. I think that's all depend on the personality of the player, and it's my job to go ahead and have figured out what buttons to push, when to push them, when to pull back, and I think with Dan, he's a pro, and he knows his craft very well, and definitely excited for his future here with the Minnesota Vikings, and glad that he's here on this team.
Joe Schmidt.
Yeah, Ryan, the special teams were not very productive this past year. Now that you've had a chance to look at it, what was the overarching issue with special teams this year?
Obviously, yeah, we did have some of our issues, but we're looking forward to going and correcting those, and sitting down with Coach Zimmer with that. But I think just we need to be able to help our team win that field position battle. We got to play that complementary football, and what I mean by that is, on the opening kickoff, we're kicking off, we got to make sure we get tackles inside the 20 to help our defense get that long field. They get that long field, get a 3 and out, we go ahead and get a nice punt return, set our offense for a nice score. So we got to get back to playing complementary football, and there's a lot of other factors that come along with it. We had a great opportunity to go ahead and develop a lot of the depth with this roster, with some of these young guys, and we're going to continue to build on that. I think, Coach Zimmer and Rick have put it together a phenomenal roster, and excited just to get to work with these guys. I hope we have an off season to go ahead and do it, and excited about that.
Andrew Kramer.
Hey, Ryan, I know you've been around a lot of coaches just in your 15 years here. Who had the biggest influence on you and just how you approach it, whether it's your days on the offensive staff or just most through the 10 years on special teams here?
I mean, that's a tough question. It's a tricky one because I always try and take something from each of these coaches, and I've been fortunate and blessed to be able to be with such amazing coaches, and that's going from my 3 years at UCLA with Coach Durrell and getting to know Coach Bieniemy, and then Childress, believing in me, bringing me here, and going on from Coach Frazier, and then obviously Coach Prefer, learning special teams, the nuances of that part of the game, but then. Obviously, the last 2 years with Coach Kubiak was instrumental in just learning, how he, interacts with these players. But then, of course, Coach Zimmer, I mean, has been an integral part in, development of me and how I am as a coach. Just being able to watch him interact with these players and just how he gets the most out of these guys. And, if it's a rookie or if it's a Terrence Newman, that's been in the league forever. He's always finding ways to go ahead and, get the most out of these guys. And I think that's been a really, great opportunity for me to sit back and observe him and do it at the highest level. And it's been, very, very beneficial for me in my growth.
Courtney.
I know that the Vikings had a kicking coach in 2019 with Nate Kading and didn't have one last year. Now that you are over the special teams unit as a whole, do you think that is that a priority for you? Is that some hire that you'd like to see? I know there's a certain number of coaches that can be on every staff, but is that something you would see a benefit in doing?
I'm not opposed to anything. As long as it's going to help our team win. I mean, I'm all open and all ears to listen to that. If that's a direction the coach and Rick want to go with that, that's great. But that's maybe a conversation down the road. But I'm looking forward just to making this team better. However we can do to improve our team and to win those football games, I'm all open for.
Ben Gessling.
Ryan, you've been around a lot of explosive returners here with either Marcus Sherrills or Percy Harvin, Cordero Patterson. I guess, how do you get back to having that type of a return game, and how explosive do you want your return guys to be in terms of bringing the ball out of the end zone, that kind of thing on kickoffs?
Good question, Ben. But in terms of how explosive we want to be, in terms of the scheme, if we're going to go ahead and return, I mean, that's going to be a decision Coach and I will discuss each week, and that's more of a schematic thing. But as in terms of these players, you're always looking to try and turn a page on some guys and find some of the best returners, the most dynamic guys. We've been very fortunate to have some really good returners here in terms of, like you listed already 3 of them, and I think we got some good talent on this team. We can continue to develop some young guys, get some more experience out of them. Excited to work with some of the Chad Beebes and the KJ Osborne and Amir Abdullah, and I think we got some good talent. And obviously we're going to be looking throughout the draft and just continue to go ahead and bring in as whatever we can to go ahead and improve that return phase. But we got to make an emphasis, and that's how we're going to do it, through technique and fundamentals and playing fast and keeping it simple. So they know exactly what they got to do, and they're going to be able to play at a high level and be able to accomplish their goals.
All right, Courtney, you got the final question.
Cool. With some of Dan's struggles down the stretch of the season, and he talked to us about it, he couldn't really pinpoint what it was. But now, as you try to put that in the past and move forward, how do you go about, just with your relationship with him, of trying to give him a clean slate for 2021, knowing that there could potentially be a kicking competition, trying to get his confidence back, see where he's at mentally? How, as a coach, do you do that, having worked with him for a number of years? I
mean, Dan's a true professional. I mean, I really rely on him on a lot of things that he's done, and he's done his resume speaks for itself. But I think Dan's got the opportunity to go ahead and he's here obviously on this team, and I think he's got the opportunity to go ahead and have a great success here in the future, and looking forward to that opportunity. But it's somewhat difficult times to go ahead and work through some of those challenges. But he is such a pro's pro in the way he approaches this game that there's no one else you'd want to go ahead and have on the team to go through this battle with. And in terms of competition, we're always looking for competition. I mean, you're always looking, it doesn't matter if you're bringing in a backup quarterback to compete for the quarterback job, or wide receivers or running backs. I mean, that's the honest truth. You're looking to go ahead and you sharpen our team to bring in the best talent out there that's available, and to find out, who can actually help us win these football games down the road, because that's what it's all about, is production.